Hey y'all, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another candidate comparison between Sherrod and Raphael Warnock. This will be coming out a bit late, probably 30-45 minutes after the day this is meant for. I'm going to try to do this pretty quickly. So, getting started in Nevada, I'm going to label it Tilt D, or Tilt to Brown. And spoiler alert, a lot of the Southwest is very competitive. I think they're honestly both weak in this region. And it's like sort of who's less weak. So it's kind of hard to tell. I think that Brown is well enough for the Hispanic and Latino voters. I think he'd be more likely to do pretty well with white rural voters. In Nevada, they're both weak candidates for Nevada, though. Arizona, I think that Warnock probably has more appeal to traditionally conservative suburbanites. I think they're both pretty weak. Colorado, I think Sherrod Brown probably has more appeal to white liberal voters and probably slightly more, actually not necessarily slightly. I think he probably does have more appeal to Hispanic and Latino voters. In Mexico, more appeal to Hispanic and Latino voters and more appeal to oil workers. Texas, I think that the biggest thing going for Democrats in Texas right now is probably the shifting suburbs, and I think that Warnock is probably slightly stronger in the suburbs than Sherrod Brown. Honestly, they're both fairly weak suburban candidates. Florida, I think that Brown would probably struggle in Miami, and I think that they're both pretty weak for older white voters and for suburbanites. I think this one's definitely very close. I think Brown probably does better with older white voters than Warnock, but Warnock probably does better in the suburbs and probably does better with Hispanic and Latino voters. Georgia, I'm going to give this to Warnock likely. I think he's very, very strong for the black vote. I think that Brown isn't, terrible. I don't know if he's definitely not the strongest candidate for the Democrats, and Warnock is definitely stronger. North Carolina, I'm going to give it to Warnock clean. I think that Brown does well enough with the white working class, and, I believe in North Carolina, the black share of the electoral is only, roughly, 23% or something, as opposed to, I think 29% or 30% in Georgia. But honestly, if it's not a presidential election, I don't know how much impact that would have, but it is obviously further to the right of Georgia. And I think that if there's, if his base makes up a smaller share of the electorate, there's, less pressure on him to turn out a lot of his base. And obviously Warnock is substantially stronger for the base, and honestly Brown also probably does better with, the white working class. Virginia, Warnock gets lean. He's better for black voters and probably better in the DC suburbs. Nebraska's first, Nebraska's second, Warnock gets still. I think they're both pretty weak in the suburbs. I think Warnock's probably stronger in the suburbs, and Brown is probably stronger for white liberal voters. It's pretty close. I did give it to Warnock tilt, though. Iowa, I think that Brown is much stronger for white rural voters and much stronger for, Obama to Trump voters. Minnesota, I think that Warnock does pretty well in the suburbs. Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania are all really close. Honestly, I should maybe give them to Warnock. I think they're both very similar on the Rust Belt, honestly, and these four could go either way. Honestly, if I did toss-ups, I would probably label most of them toss-ups. Warnock is going to do very well with the black vote and probably do pretty well with the white working class. Brown would probably do man with the black vote, would do very, very well with the white working class. Warnock probably does better in the suburbs, though. Brown probably does better with white rural voters. It's very hard to tell. It's a very tough. It's a very tough call. I'm probably gonna give Warnock. They're basically toss-ups, though. New Hampshire, I think that Brown is maybe less weak for white rural college-educated voters. Fairly similar thing in Maine at large. In Maine second, I think he has much more of the populist appeal than Warnock. As you can see, I think they're very similar candidates. Most of these states have been tilt, I believe, except for Minnesota, Iowa, Maine second, Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia. So I think they are relatively similar candidates in terms of strength. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please comment your suggestions down below, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!